Welcome to the Pearl L. Crawford Memorial Library Board of Trustees meeting, Tuesday, April 27th, 2021. And we will call to order start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so you were sent meeting minutes from March 23rd. So I will
make a motion to approve as read online.
Okay. Hello.
Second.
Right.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just,
Do we need to do a roll call?
yeah, grab a chair.
Thank you, sorry, I'm almost away. I have to take care of all the animals.
That's fine. All right, and then I also sent you the executive session meeting minutes, again, from February 23rd, and now that the problem has been resolved, we can approve and release.
I make a motion to approve the executive session minutes of February 23rd, approve to release the executive session minutes of Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye. You don't like that. You don't like that piece of the puzzle.
No, I was the same way.
Yeah, in favor? Okay. So now that is all set, director's report.
So our programs for Earth Day week went well. The first couple sessions outdoors, it took Lita a bit to get the hang of keeping everyone socially distanced and stuff, but they went well. People were very glad to be able to come in and do things in person.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting. We had several people who have never band to our library before.
Nice.
But came to, in fact, we issued a couple of library cards to folks who came with their kids.
Excellent.
So, you know, and Lita was saying she saw a definite uptick in her circulation because people came to the library and then were like, oh, we can go in. And we're like, yes, you've been able to go in for a while. But so that went well. So we're finalizing the details for summer reading now that we know that we can make outdoor programming work. Mm-hmm. So Lita was working on the flyer for that today. So hopefully we'll have summer reading nailed down.
Do you have a theme yet?
It is Tales and Tales, as in animal tales and story tales.
Cute.
So each week we're going to keep it fairly simple. Again, you know, because numbers have to be limited and so on. But each week we're going to have kind of a different theme. So like unicorns and dragons and various other things. But yeah, so Lita was, like I said, used last week to kind of figure out what she could make work. And so we should have.
How did she handle it on the cold days? I felt so bad. I was like, oh, I hope she doesn't have too much planned today.
What was funny is the one day that was really cold, she did not. Fortunately, that was our indoor story time day. But we were laughing because several of us, she runs cold. And so several of us had commented what a lovely day it was, and she's in like 3 sweaters and a parka and a glove. But yeah, so that it went well, and it was good to, you know, have some new faces come in, and hopefully that will, you know, help.
Great.
We've noticed that people who come into the children's department are not necessarily bringing their kids, so hopefully that will kind of encourage them that they can bring children in, so that was good.
Is there any way, have you or Lita done any chats with the school departments to maybe get word out?
Oh yeah, no, she has, since school was back in, she sends a monthly newsletter to them.
Oh,
It goes
okay.
out to every student in the school district.
Great.
So that's been something that she's done. So they should be aware.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I was
We
thinking.
are
Like,
there.
that's what I wanted to know, is that they getting the word?
But no, and some of the folks who came who said they never been saw the thing in the
In what?
in
That was
the
going to be my question.
The thing that went out to all the students.
Ah, okay,
Great.
cool.
But I don't know if they missed the previous ones, or, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure you get 7 million things a day
Yeah.
coming home from schools, so,
And they stay in the bottom backpack for 3 months.
you
and then,
know,
you know.
or what have you, so, but anyhow, so that went well. We've got a couple of things, coming up. I'm talking to somebody about scheduling. I'm trying to decide whether I want to take July off for adult programming, since that's generally a slow month, but I'm talking to someone about doing a program in either July or August on the history of shoes.
Interesting topic.
History of shoes.
She is a fashion historian,
Very appropriate.
and she has done programs for a couple of other libraries in New England on the history of shoes. And it seemed
Interesting.
like it was the kind of topic that nobody else is doing, so.
Yeah.
Huh.
Ben and I, we would have done that.
Of course. Well, we had 3 shoe companies in town
Yeah.
back in the day, at least
That was
3.
my high school job.
I can count 3. There were probably more.
But she has, she did something for another library, and it was extremely well received at that
Awesome.
other library. So anyhow, we're in the stage of what's your, what do you charge, and when are you available, and that kind of thing, so.
And
we'll
my
see.
grandfather was a cobbler, so.
Oh.
So you could do a program
You
for
have a
us on the history of
history,
shoes,
yeah.
there we
I
go.
have all his tools.
Wow.
But we have seen, adult programs are always kind of hit or miss, whether they're in person or not, but we're seeing a sort of steady uptick in the number of people registering for things, so that's been good.
People feel more comfortable heading out.
Yeah, but I think people are also getting more comfortable with Zoom programs.
yeah.
You're
Probably
becoming
true.
more familiar with how to do them, so.
Yep.
um,
And the adult one that you're talking about, the shoes, is that, like, do they do it on Zoom? Or?
Yes, yeah, it
Okay.
would be a Zoom program. Which actually is probably easier for her, because
Yeah.
my understanding is that she brings historic footwear with her, and, she'd have these boxes and boxes, and this way she can just hold things up.
I think it's appropriate. We are a shoe.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
We could
very
do a
much so,
display
yeah.
in the library
Yeah.
of some of the things that I have, some of the tools for making shoes, and I have my aunt's old high tops. She had a foot about this size, and they're the sweetest little things. They've got little tiny heels.
Little teeny
and they're all
ones.
Black lace up.
Um,
Do you have any of the button-up shoes with the button hooks?
No, I don't.
I might in my
Wow.
attic. I might have a.
That'd be cool.
I have shoes from the 1950s, but they're not teeny because they fit my feet. So. But anyhow, so that's kind of, like I said, I'm kind of trying to decide whether to skip July, just because that's usually a very slow month anyway, or, so anyhow, watch for that eventually.
Yeah, I think July and August.
And
is-
anyone you know who
And who
has
knows what's
cats,
gonna happen this
year.
our
But it's
June program, there's a certified animal behaviorist, and she is doing this program for us free of charge.
What's the program?
Understanding your cat.
Oh.
And she is going to talk a bit about cat behavior and kind of how she works, and then she is opening up to questions. So if you have a pet cat and it's doing something weird or it's misbehaving, that is what she wants to do. She wants to engage with individuals and talk about, okay, Fluffy here is doing this weird thing. I said, unfortunately, since I would be at the library, my own cat could not attend, but he has figured out on Zoom that the camera is right here, and he sits and faces straight into the camera every time I do a Zoom meeting, so he could have hosted it, but he's not coming to work with me, so. But anyhow, it was, again, recommended by another library over in the Boston area, and she was delighted.
Sounds
Said she
interesting.
didn't charge for libraries, and she hoped that her goal is to enable people to keep their pets, even if they can't afford to hire someone like her. So she's doing this as kind of a service to the community, so.
Animal lover, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as for the budget, we're pretty much on track. If anything, we're gonna be a little bit under budget, but part of that is due to things like 2 weeks quarantining when nobody got paid out of our salary line items, so, and a couple of other things like that. So we're in good shape for the end of the year.
How's our facilities building still holding together and everything?
It is in one piece. I
Don't
want to
jinx us.
thank the highway department. They've been out a couple of times lately. If you've been to the library lately, you will notice that all of our parking lot lines have been completely
I
repainted.
did notice that.
We spoke to a couple of the guys. I went out to thank them when they were there painting and spoke to a couple of them about the fact that if they could sort of bushwhack the vacant lot, you know, that would be really helpful, because then we could use that for outdoor story time. And as of today, it is manicured
Cool.
up there. It is beautifully clear. So Lita was very excited because she's hoping to do story time in person, but outdoors over the summer.
Yeah.
And she can sit on the big rock that's
Yeah.
up in the corner, and now there's plenty of grassy area for people to sit. So the highway department's been great, and they've been, you know, very receptive when I said, hey, guys,
Yeah.
if you have a chance, could you?
So are they gonna maintain that and keep it pushing? Kept it
My
down?
understanding is that they're going to, through the
Cool.
summer, they're going to keep,
Nice.
they were very excited, some piece of equipment that they use that clears like brush. It wasn't a brush hog, but it was something similar. They were excited that they could use it on the lawn,
Oh,
so I
okay.
think it's there.
There you go.
New toy.
And then they left a lawnmower in our shed, and I said, well, that was good that I would just borrow it if they didn't come, and Dennis laughed at me. So I assume that means he's planning to keep up the lawn mowing.
If we're gonna use that lot a lot, should we be thinking about spraying for ticks or anything? If the kids are gonna be out there? I mean,
I can talk to them. They spray whatever the heck they spray around the buildings anyway, so I can
I'm
ask
just
them
thinking, you know,
about.
if we're gonna have kids out there, we don't
Yeah,
need to give
that's
kids
true.
Lyme disease.
My only concern would be accessibility for kids and adults taking them, and how easily is it to get in that area? The
There's,
handicap, like, I'm just thinking about.
yeah, well,
that.
the where the rock is, certainly somebody who is in the parking lot area, and we're
Yeah.
planning to rope off those parking spaces, would be able to hear.
Okay,
So it's not like you have to be all the way up in the back of the lot.
yeah.
And
I'm just thinking about safety, that's all.
It also has to
People
be
walking.
limited capacity.
To what?
We have to go out with we haven't been able to get up there because
Yep.
it was just bushwhacked today, but we have
Yep.
to go out and measure out spaces and figure out how many we can fit.
Outdoors?
Yes,
There's a limit for outdoors?
6-foot distancing.
Okay.
Mhm.
Even
So-
today?
Yeah, I just
There's
didn't
new
think that, yeah,
announcements?
new
Six
changes.
feet, because you can't tell who's been vaccinated, and these are children, most of whom will not be vaccinated.
Yep,
So there has to be 6-foot distance. So we
Right.
have to go out and figure out
okay.
how many we can fit.
The other thing about the facility is, and it might have already been fixed, when I was there a couple of weeks back and I was going in to sign invoices, and it could definitely already be fixed because I didn't look this past week, I wasn't parked on that side. On the right side of the building, if you could just have George look at, and like I said, he could have already addressed this, there's like a metal.
Yes, that's
stripping.
actually, the highway department has to deal with that, and we've asked Dennis to put it on his
Okay.
to-do list.
All
It's
right.
not something that George can do with the equipment that he has available.
What is
at the
it?
library. It is the edging from around the rock bed.
Okay.
That's needs to
That's
be
what I thought it was, the
reburied.
edging.
And it's not, like I said, George, it's not something he can do with the tools he has at the library, so we asked Dennis if he had a chance to come
Put
take
it
care of
back
it.
in,
Yeah,
Dig the hole, put it back, and tamp it down again,
Mhm.
basically.
yeah. It just looked like it had sharp edges, and I just know how kids run around, so. All right, and the annual budget,
Have not heard anything, no.
haven't heard anything?
Mm-mm.
I think it's just going forward as is. As of
That
this
that
date.
was the impression that I got, but like I said, I have not heard. You know, I don't even know for sure what the timeline is for when they're going to, they normally, the draft budget is published in advance
Mhm.
of town meeting and town elections, and a copy is put at the library, and we haven't seen that, so I don't know where they are in the process.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna skip 4 for a second. Can we go to 5? And Ed, can you give us an update on the Historical Commission, the library project?
Cleaning house. 2 words.
Okay.
As it is with any closet type of place, people bring stuff and drop it off, and it gets stuck on a shelf, and then it gets piled up, and so we bought some nice boxes, put them together, we have a
Alcohol.
label maker. I'm so excited
Oh,
about
boy.
that. Looking
Professional.
forward to it. And I will sort through donations, things that people have dropped off or said, well, we don't know where it should go, so it'll go to the library. And they'll figure it out. So they will be me, will figure it out whether it has historic value or not and how it should be categorized and put in its lovely box. And then when we are ready for it, I'll just say, oh, let's go to that box, and we'll have it there. That's what I'm at the moment. I haven't gone back to having any historic weekly office hour.
Yep.
That'll hold for a while until people get around and start moving again. But I'll be in and out of the building, so usually if somebody has a question, they come to the desk and they leave a message for me and I get to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, I have no idea. And without Mike Braniff around now, it's just, I can't pick up the phone, I can't email. He hasn't sent me an email anyway. So it's so difficult when you are accustomed to having a reference person versus, okay, maybe in the room there's some more information. So we're adjusting.
Okay. All right, so the next part is the landscape project. Ooh. And I apologize, my copier copied some both sides, and then it chose to not copy both sides and gave me separate pages. So you guys get
Thank
two.
you. Okay.
Lucky you. So this is just things that we did in the past, the description of the project and the bidders that came in, and this was basically to bring you up to date, you, Ed, and Kathy up to date on kind of what we did and how, on the second page is the scores. We had a rubrics that we all the trustees filled out and scored off of every company. And that's how we came, and the bid for Studio MLA was the highest. And that is how they were chosen, and we all approved, so I thought I would give you that information. Do you have any questions? Did you look at the?
No, I looked at the
Yep.
perspective,
Mhm.
And it was a lot more than I expected,
Yes.
actually. I went, wow,
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
Same.
This just
Yeah.
isn't
Yep.
cleaning up an area and putting a log down
Right.
saying sit on a log and
Yeah.
we'll talk to you.
Well, and what I really liked when Pat sent this to me, back to me again, was I looked in the third column over, the company name, and right next to it, it just tells you kind of basically what it's actually for.
Yeah.
So MLA, it's just the design
Right.
and oversight, that's it. So then we're gonna be putting bids out for surveyor, we're gonna put bids out for companies to come in, so that's like, the bills, just it's gonna go up higher
Yeah.
and higher. So that company that gave us the very large price,
That's probably closer than
Yeah.
98,000.
I'm like, we all kind of like, was hard to swallow, but
Yeah.
that was complete.
Well, as far as they knew. I mean, labor
Well,
costs
per
and such
project and
could-
oversight, that was complete. And
But
design
I mean,
phase.
any subcontractors' costs and so on could always go up from that.
So,
Materials
but it's
costs
going
and
to
so
go
on.
up from that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's basically,
Yeah.
that's all it is the design and oversight. To read the lovely paperwork that comes in and guide us. So, definitely is more, but I don't know how everyone feels on it. I mean, there's months before there's even a shovel in the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's so much that has to happen. The oversight in their plan. Ugh. for the,
Yeah, they did do a graph of
yes,
sorts
I
for,
don't know. I can find it quick enough though, probably not.
want me to do a quick search?
Project, yeah, so the work schedule, project startup, this is when it was projected for last year, so April 1st, we'll just go with the April 1st. So the conceptual design takes 6 weeks. And that's, she said, when she called me, she said, we would meet with you and get, what you're looking for and get, kind of start. She says, and we can do that like in a week or two of you signing and sending us the contract, that could happen, that quickly. So that's 6 weeks. And then design development is 4 weeks. And then just putting together the construction documents is another 4 weeks. And then you put the documents out to bid. So there's so much that it entails before the shovel even gets in that I would like to go forward with this, but I don't know how everyone feels. I don't know if you want to wait until Kathy is back. I hate to put it off another month.
I'm ready
That's
to
the,
roll.
Kathy was positive about it.
Yeah, she was, yeah.
Kathy was positive about it.
so I don't know how everyone feels about it, but I would like to
Yeah.
All right,
start the
so we
ball
need a
rolling.
Formal,
I would need a motion to, I guess I would say I would need a motion to
Proceed.
proceed with the, sending the contract to them.
all right. Let's fight. Joint motion from over here. That we proceed with Studio MLA Architects for the design and oversight of the Crawford Memorial Library Landscape Architecture Project.
A second.
See, we're a good team.
We are.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, aye.
Joyce, I can print the contract out and have
Awesome.
it ready for you to sign with invoices on Thursday.
Sure,
'Cause
perfect.
I think we both have to sign it.
Yep, that's fine.
The-
Not,
You were told.
we actually
I
thought it
remember
was
that.
signed.
Like, we were told that I had to
Everything
sign
was,
it too,
everything
so-
said that it was already signed, but if it's not, I will sign it.
I don't have a signed copy.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we started, and then just as it was gonna go out, the pandemic came up and everything kind of halted, so
Stop right there.
we'll make sure that we
Yep,
get
no
a
problem.
signed and freshly
Yep.
dated copy up.
I would my only stipulation, I guess, going forward with MLA is I would like something in writing from them about more often communication to the trustees, like something that it can come through you, I'm not saying, but I just want some communication with them.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, I think once we're actually moving, but there hasn't
Yeah.
been anything to communicate for
No, I know,
a
but I'm
year,
just saying
so-
that I think I really want to stress that with
Well,
them because,
And at some point, they should be here and,
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
Joanne
Yeah.
and her team will be here, and
Yeah,
certainly
sure,
they've got to walk the
exactly.
property and
Yeah.
all of that kind of thing, so.
so that would be my only thing. All right. Board members' comments and observations. I will start by saying I thought Lita's terrarium looked awesome. And I'm happy all the kids' programs went well. Good job, Lita and the team. Yeah, I even took a
George and
picture
I
of it.
George and I moved all of the signs around, in concrete buckets. That was my workout for the day. Because that's what we used to rope off, was the signs in kind. I didn't realize how heavy those suckers were.
Yeah, yeah. But those looked really great. I don't know, did she take pictures of the kids to post that were made?
She asked them to take pictures and tag us,
Oh,
like once they had them home. A couple of them wanted to add, favorite toys or what have you to them, so.
yep. So she got donations for the succulents and
We did,
all
the
that?
Friends
Awesome.
covered part of the cost as well.
Good.
We got some donations from, don't ask me which thrift store, I can't remember,
I
but
know Broke,
covered, they provided the
Broke-
rocks.
the
If anyone
rocks,
needs
yeah.
small white rocks, we have a
Yeah.
lot of small white rocks left.
there you
Well,
go.
the smallest container they sell is a 5-gallon bucket, so
Oh.
we
Yep.
have a lot of white
Yeah.
rocks. But they also, we got some donated containers in case people didn't bring their own, so.
Oh, that's good.
nice.
Awesome. So that was my comment. Anybody else have any comments, concerns?
Good to be back in a building with everyone and not Zooming.
Yeah, no, this is
Yeah.
Well,
nice.
that certainly did serve the purpose to
Yep.
get us through.
Yes, it did.
Do we have a
So-
thoughts on when we'll be doing programs, stop the Zooming and start programs in?
We don't know at this
On-site?
point. It's partially the governor and partially guidance from MBLC and also partially up to the local Board of Health, but I don't want to approach the local Board of Health until we have that guidance from the Mass Board of
MBLC,
Library
yeah.
Commissioners, which is waiting for guidance from the governor. So at this point, we've been telling people that we hope by the end of the year. But a lot of it's going to depend on vaccination rates as
Exactly.
well. Because right now they're still saying, even if you are vaccinated, small groups and masks if you're in a small space and all that kind of things, so.
So mask indoors, but if it's outside there.
Yeah, so we've basically been telling some of our presenters, we're taking it like a month at a time.
Mhm.
This is not the normal program planning. Normally I would have a year out at this point, but, we really can't do that, so. At some point, hopefully, I know our knitters keep coming in and saying, when can we come
Oh,
knit
yeah.
again? And I keep
Oh,
saying,
I
I'm sorry,
bet.
I don't know.
So Pat, will you see Kathy? I can email it to her, that's all right, I just told her she has it. Because I didn't send this by email, but I can send it to Kathy.
Possibly by end of week. I can give her my copy. I've got all that
Okay.
stuff.
All right. All right, so if there's no other comments and observations, our next meeting is May 25th, which is the day after Memorial Day,
Yeah.
I believe.
No, actually Memorial Day is on
Oh, that's
the
right.
end
it
of the
is-
month this year.
Yeah, it
'cause
is, yes,
Yeah,
you're
it's
right.
the next Monday, yeah.
Yes,
I was surprised.
How'd that happen?
yeah.
Just
So if not, I will accept the motion.
so moved, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.